My name is Daniel Grúň. I'm based in Bratislava. I'm representative of Július Koller Society, which is the NGO representing Július Koller, his archive and his legacy. We are taking care not only of his archives, but also about various activities around his work, like we organize publications, conferences, exhibitions, events, not only based on the work of Július Koller, but also on his followers in contemporary arts. And we operate not only in Czechoslovakia, but also in Central Europe, and we are trying to continue universality of Július Koller's artistic practice. The title of this exhibition is The Sinusoid of Misunderstanding. The sinusoid, which is actually layouted on one of the walls here, represents the typical motif of Július Koller's work. Of course, it's related to question mark, but also it's related to meander of the river, for example, which we can find in natural surroundings, like Danube, for example, but also it's related to his understanding of wave lines, transmissions, radio waves, for example, and various archaeology-based motifs and symbols found in ancient cultures. A selection of his works is layouted in the sinusoid wavy line. It is actually a selection that starts roughly from 1957, when he was a young artist, and continues to the end of his life. Actually, Július Koller transformed wavy line into various performances throughout his life. One of them is subjective-objective cultural situation, in which he's pointing down and up, which could be also understood as part of this amplitude. Then wavy line could be also understood as part of Möbius strip, which is part of Bermuda Triangle. And further, wavy line is also part of the net, which is also omnipresent symbol in Július Koller's works. The net culture or net cultural situation is also related to a late Fluxus movement and mail art movement, sending signals through the alternative communications based on postcards and letters sent to his friends and artistic contemporaries from the beginning of the 1970s around the world. Later, wavy line transforms also through his obsession with archaeology and ancient cultures into various motifs found in either ancient Greek cultures, like the Gorgona work, which is related to U.F.O. Actually, U.F.O. is one of the most important motifs in Július Koller's works since 1970, when he started his lifetime universal cultural futurological operations. This series, lifetime series, started with transformation of his portrait into U.F.O, and further with setting of ping pong club environment in the Gallery of Youth in Bratislava. From this moment, Július Koller invited and activated audiences with the game, with respecting or disrespecting the rules, and playing or taking standpoint either on one side or the other side of the opinion spectrum. For example, theory versus practice, or democracy versus authoritarian regime, and so on. His work is also focused on what he would call cultural situations. Cultural situations are basically recorded by the camera with participation of his lifetime partner Květoslava Fulierova, who photographed most of the performances at the time, and many of them took place in frame of amateur summer courses. These were moments in which Julius did many of his performances outside the city. For example, this series is from now Czech Republic, southern Bohemia, and we can see artists lying on various backgrounds, for example, or the other work with his friend Lubomír Ďurček, in which they come into the underground, which is completely empty, and one is standing in front of the camera, the other one is turning his back, and they also showed certain directions in and out. And also one could stress the moment of intervention, which is very much part of practice of Július Koller. Medium is a message. This is a famous quote from Marshall McLuhan, and for Július Koller, every single work, every carrier of his work, like a paper, card, photo material, xero, or painting on certain surfaces like hardboard, for example, or paperboard, or enamel, every single surface is part of the message. And Július Koller is very much focusing into imagery, how imagery is articulated in the mass media, how they are transformed through mass media. And he's always interacting with mass media. Július Koller analyzed consumer culture, political systems, mass media. He was the artist that articulated his work based on a very deep analysis of the everyday. Question mark in Július Koller's work means universal symbol of questioning. This universal symbol actually has a political meaning, because he started using this symbol and communication sign right in 1969, a year after Prague Spring started. And it was the time of questioning the political system in Czechoslovakia. And Julius was among those artists who started to uncover illusionism of the humanist background of the socialism, so-called socialism with a human face. And Julius was the artist of consumer culture, so he posed question marks on various materials, like here it's a shopping bag. Later, question mark was transformed into his work. Actually, he used it, as I said, on various basic materials in his artistic work, but also he transformed question mark into his self-portrait. Question mark became part of everyday routine, and later in the end of 70s he wrote a manifesto of total painting, and this meant also that Julius used white latex paint in the question mark already at the beginning, but also later he stressed white color as anti-color in his work. Question mark was part of his performances also. So he would, for example, draw question mark into the sand, or he would make question mark with acid juice from lemon, for example. So he used various instruments to stress questioning of the everyday and also questioning of art. So this particular work was first time showed in Art Basel with GB Agency, a gallery based in Paris that represented at that time Július Koller as an artist. The original work was exhibited without the frame, without this plexiglass, and it was just hanging on the nail on the wall. And actually during Art Basel the bag disappeared. Either it was stolen or it just disappeared. Nobody knows where it is. And Julius was there. He was present by himself in Art Basel. So he took another bag and painted another question mark. So that's also the reason why there is next to his name date 1969, 2007. So this was the year when he participated in Art Basel, and also this is the year when he passed away in August. In 1970, Július Koller announced exhibition in Gallery of the Youth in Bratislava by exhibiting nothing more than ping pong table. He invited audiences to take part and to come to the exhibition room and play ping pong with him. This was not only an exhibition, this was a gesture towards culture and political system of the time. After Prague Spring in 1970, the society was facing overall passivity and disillusionment. He started to activate his audiences, he started to play ping pong and, of course, using the structure of a game. Structure of the game is very simple. You have one side and the other side, two opposing points from which you can set a dialogue. From 1965, Július Koller started his anti-happening. Actually, anti-happening was a subjective-objective, material, spiritual theory versus praxis. So here we have a dialectical positions that exchange the ball from one field to the other field. One could play by respecting the rules or disrespecting the rules of the game. Here we use the original vintage ping pong table from the 70s. This is not the same as was part of the exhibition in Ping Pong Club, but it is the same that Július Koller used later from the beginning of 1980s, and he would come to this table tennis and cover the second part of it so that one could see only first part of the name. He would use rackets with painted question marks on it. Actually, ping pong game together with tennis game, became structural components of his artistic messages. Within the ping pong club environment, he would use flags, sports flags, with painted initials of his names, JK. In the tennis, which also started as events organized among amateur artists groups, and these were also the moments of real tennis game. He would transform the ball into U.F.O, and the whole situation he would call universal cultural organization. Part of this overall structure of ping pong within art, or transforming components of the arts into cultural situations, were his ufonautic portraits. One of them we can see here, and actually over there, which is his ufonaut from 1970, in which he used ping pong balls beneath his glasses. Július Koller also used various materials and media to make this image part of his practice, from small formats to large formats. He would make this very much present throughout his work in the 70s and 80s, and coming back time and again to the same motive and stressing its actuality in the moments of political change, mostly around 1989. Koller started to work with personal mythologies, and he applied the idea of lost continent into his work. And this lost continent, the story of this lost continent comes from Plato and is called Atlantis. Atlantis is related to the civilization that was lost and became fundamental component of further civilizations. Július Koller was analyzing archaeology and the recent foundings, but also somehow related this knowledge with fantastic science, sci-fi, U.F.O, and somehow the hybrid component, hybrid outcome of his search for lost civilization was presented in Utopia Station, curated by Hans Ulrich Obrist in Venice, I think 2003. And here, right in the Venice Biennial, Július Koller transformed these ideas into his Utopia Station installation. You can see that he combined wavy line together with the Bermuda Triangle. He used carpet, boat, and manifestos that he was throwing inside the net hanging from the ceiling. His relation to Mediterranean and to analysis of Greek ancient mythologies with Gorgona is also very important for his imagery. It could be also narrated from the myth of the creation, like this work, Universal Factographic Orientation, where the planet Earth starts with Pangaea, then is transformed into Atlantis, and finally into the communist rule over the planet. So this is his subversive identification with the system that also brings certain utopical moments into the reality. Additionally to the exhibition in ACB Plus titled The Sinusoid of Misunderstanding, we are here in the second gallery of ACB, which is called Attachment, and this small exhibition represents connections, parallels and direct communications between Július Koller and Hungarian neo-avant-garde artists. The exhibition is organized around a selection of the mail art works from archive of Július Koller Society, and this is personal communication between Július Koller and László Beke. Also, Július Koller exchanged many postcards and letters with Géza Pernecký in Cologne. Géza Pernecký would send to Július his artist books and works on paper. And the third artist who is represented in this selection is Sándor Pincehely, who was sending postcards to Július Koller. So these were the artists with whom Július Koller was in direct exchange, in direct communicational communication. And further works exhibited in this room are playing around the motive of self-representation, self-exposure and self-portrait, which are resonating around some of the works or lifetime series of Július Koller, which is called U.F.O JK. And parallel to Július Koller's U.F.O, we can see in this exhibition some of the key works by Sándor Pincehely, who would use this star as a symbol of communism attached to his body. Then observation mode that is somehow related to extension of the apparatus of seeing in the work of Ferenc Ficsek, as well as the distortion of the face through the mirror and through the ways of seeing in the work of Miklós Erdély. And very important parallel to Július Koller U.F.O is Katalin Ládik and her work series U.F.O Party from the beginning of 1980s, in which she used the motif of U.F.O as a transformation of gender and playing with the androgyne motif. Also it has some theatrical components and gestures similar to those that Július Koller was doing at the same time. And last but not least, the exhibition is bringing some of the thoughts that Július Koller was sending around him through his U.F.O postcards and letters, manifestos, And I think this quote is still relevant for us today, and all these series that are represented here in this exhibition are posing very interesting questions themselves through body gestures, through the means of photography, using a body as a political instrument, and also communication networks like mail art as alternative ways of exchange among artists.